Hi guys, I'm Backspin, and a couple days ago I uploaded a video for January of 2020 entitled Digitech, which was basically an ambient drone piece designed around this guy here. This is the Volca Beats, and this is a technique that I learned from Heinbach. I will leave a link up to his video on the drum drone somewhere up in the corner. I'll leave like a card or something like that so you can check out the musical applications of such an idea. But I had a couple people asking me technical questions about how to get it working on the Korg Volca Beats. I had a couple people ask if I hacked the machine or how I got it running at 600 beats per minute. And you don't have to hack the machine. It's just an internal feature that you have to learn to be able to toggle on or off. And it is a pretty, it's a thing that's normally kind of buried. It's a thing that's not normally enabled. So in the box, this comes bundled so that it's got a narrowed tempo range. So it goes from about 56 or so BPM all the way up to around 240, which is the range most people call musical. But if you're looking to take it and turn it into something that you can make a drone out of, you can push it to its upper limits. Its upper limit is actually 600, and you can shorten that down to a fourth of that by just basically having it cycle on a single step, which is what I did. So that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do here. So the first thing you have to do is turn the machine off, and then you want to boot the machine up again while holding the function button right here. And you'll get this thing where it's sitting there saying globe for, it's global settings. You've got the play and record buttons flashing here, and you've got steps 1 through 7 will all be toggleable on and off. They'll give you an idea on, hey, what's being toggled here. Things like external clock priority versus internal clock priority, whether, sync polarity, things like that. The important one here is step 5. If you toggle this, you go from tempo full, and you can go down to tempo narrow. So you want to enable that to full, and then you want to hit the record button so that it'll save the changes you've made here, and it will boot up the rest of the way. Now, in this case, I've got a pretty basic drum beat set up here, and I've got it running at 600 BPM. Oops, wrong knob. And you can go all the way down to 10 BPM. Yeah, but the fun part is when it's running this fast. But even if I sat there and I went into step mode, muted everything else except for the kick drum, and I went into step mode, and I went, hey, I want everything to be a thing, you get a pretty impressive drone. An easier way to mess with this that's less annoying to program is you can actually turn all of the varying steps off, and then you can go hold function, and you can hit the, this is the 14th step here. You can clear everything, and you can go to active step by holding function and play, and you can turn the rest of these off. So now it's only cycling on this step. You hit function again to exit that. From here, you go into step mode. I've got one step going, and it's just cycling on this. And then from here, I can go to snare and unmute that. Mess with the pitch here. Need some interesting sounds out of this. The cymbals in particular are pretty nice. A lot of this, which is pretty fun. Now, it is pretty neat. The drone on itself is pretty cool. The things like, your click here gives you more drive basically on this kick drum right here. You can mess with the PCM speed, and it sounds pretty nice on some things, especially the agogo and the claves. And the crash and the clap less so, but they're still there and they're still kind of useful. The toms give you extra tone control because you've got pitch control for these, as well as the kick drum and the snare in particular. These three are the ones you're going to hear pitch changes on the most that aren't PCM based. And the hats sound gnarly with the grain thing. But even more fun is taking it and running it through a couple of effects in order to give it some space. In the particular video I did, I ran it through this guy, the Digitech Nautila, right here, which is a chorus or flanger pedal, depending on what the toggle is set to. And I had a Boss RE20 Space Echo. And in this case, I've got an Ocean's 11 reverb here. I've got a Boss DD7, which should be taking this and running this through basically a ping pong delay. And then I'll be modulating it at the end with the Nautila, and you'll get some pretty massive sounds out of it. But let me set a couple of things up. So I want closed hat, and I like the agogo, so I can mess with. And I find it easiest to start out by muting everything and then bringing in what you want later on. I'll throw the toms in there just in case. All right, so okay, we'll start here. That alone is pretty neat. And then all right, now I've got this set to shimmer. I can sit there and set this to tremolo maybe. For example, let's go for some basic hall reverb. And that's basically how you get one of these sort of drone things set up. So yeah, take it, set it to 600 beats per minute, set it to cycle through a single step, run it through a couple of pedals. Usually a big reverb or a stereo delay of some kind, and maybe some form of modulation. Like this note, I love this thing to death. Something like that, and you'll get a massive, massive sound out of it. It sounds very kind of ominous and big and kind of imposing. It's a very cool sound to have. So yeah, if you've got any further questions on how to make this sort of stuff work, or you run into any issues, let me know in the comments, and I'll try and help sort things out if need be. But other than that, yeah, have fun making drones out of drum machines. Bye.